The steady growth of the productive forces of Soviet society, the elimination of the possibility of economic crises, and the abolition of unemployment. Sound familiar, AOC? Article 119. Citizens of the USSR have the right to rest and leisure. The right to rest and leisure is ensured by the reduction of the working day to 7 hours for the overwhelming majority of the workers. Maybe family leave or something of that sort. The institution of annual vacations with full pay for workers and employees, and the provision of a wide network of sanatoria, rest homes, and clubs for the accommodation of the working people. Pretty close, right? Article 120. Citizens of the USSR have the right to maintenance in old age and also in case of sickness or loss of capacity to work. The right is ensured by the extensive development of social insurance of workers and employees at state expense, free medical service for the working people, and the provision of a wide network of health resorts for the use of the working people.
Right.
Sounds very much like our own Communist Manifesto here. Article 121. Citizens of the USSR have the right to education. This right is ensured by universal, compulsory elementary education, by education including higher education, being free of charge, imagine that, by the system of state stipend for the overwhelming majority of the students in the universities and colleges, by instruction in schools being conducted in the native language, and by the organization in the factories, state farms and machine and tractor stations, and collective farms of free vocational, technological,
brainwashing,
agronomic training for the working people. Article 122. I mean, they didn't have to put this document out. They should have just grabbed the Stalin Soviet 1936 Constitution and cut and paste it. They almost did. Women in the USSR are accorded equal rights with men in all spheres of economic, state, cultural, social, and political life. The possibility of exercising these rights is ensured to women by granting them an equal right with men to work, payment for work, rest and leisure, social insurance and education, and by state protection of the interests of the mother and child, pre-maternity and maternity leave with full pay, and the provisions of a wide network of maternity homes, nurseries, and kindergartens. Wow. Bernie Sanders.
Who's paying for all this?
Article 123, equality of rights of citizens of the USSR, irrespective of their nationality or race, in all spheres of economic, state, cultural, social, political life, is an indefeasible law. Any direct or indirect restriction of the rights of, or conversely, any establishment of direct or indirect privileges for citizens on account of their race or nationality, as well as any advocacy of racial or national exclusiveness or hatred and contempt, is punishable by law. This is the old Soviet Union, a genocidal machine. Doesn't it sound lovely? Article 124, in order to ensure to citizens freedom of conscience, the church in the USSR is separated from the state and the school from the church. Freedom of religious worship and freedom of anti-religious propaganda is recognized for all citizens.
Horseshit.
They destroyed churches and they rounded up people because
that's a lie.
And religion.
Jehovah's Witness can't even practice there right now.
Article 125. In conformity with the interests of working people and in order to strengthen the socialist system, the citizens of the USSR are guaranteed by law freedom of speech, freedom of the press, freedom of assembly, including holding mass meetings, freedom of street processions. And
sure, if you don't mind Putin poisoning you later.
People in the organization, printing presses, stocks of paper, public buildings, the streets, communication facilities, other material requisites for the exercise of these rights.
Sounds great.
Wow.
Wow.
Article 126, in conformity with the interests of the working people in order to develop organizational initiative and political activity of the masses of the people. Citizens of the USSR ensure the right to unite in public organizations, trade unions, cooperative associations, youth associations, and so forth and so on. Article 127, citizens of the USSR are guaranteed inviolability of the person. No person may be placed under arrest except by decision of a court or with the sanction.
What horseshit. That is such a lie.
And 128, the inviolability of the homes of citizens and privacy of correspondence are protected by law. Nothing.
Unless they want to build an Olympic town in your town and wipe out your house.
Stalin was a ruthless, vicious, communist dictator.